Hello and welcome back again, Coffee Beans. This is Agricultural Power and Energy Sources. Definition of terms. Part 2. Gas. Any fluid, combustible or non-combustible, produced in a natural state from the earth and that which maintains a gaseous or ratified state at ordinary temperature and pressure conditions. Gas chamber. Space inside or outside the digester for the collection of biogas. Gasification. The transformation of organic materials into gas through biological or physical processes. Geothermal resource. All geothermal fluids consisting naturally are formed by the artificial introduction of fluids into naturally hot formulations. Heat energy ion the energy. And any byproducts derived from these. Imported energy resource. Energy resources which are principally obtained from outside the Philippines. Indigenous energy resource. Energy resources which originate or occur naturally in the Philippines. Joule Btu. A measure of quantity of heat. 1 joule will raise the temperature of 1 gram of water 1 degree Celsius. Liquefied petroleum gas, LPG. Commercial propane gas, butane gas or a mixture of the two gases, with properties conforming to the specifications set by the Bureau of Product Standards. Load factor. Field. The ratio of engine power used in performing an operation to engine power available. Locked rotor torque. Refers to the motor torque at zero speed or the maximum torque available to start the load. LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. A pressurized 340 to 1030 kilopascals, 50-150 psi, mixture of mostly propane and butane gas. Manual motor starter. A horsepower-rated switch for starting a motor manually. Motor housing. The housing which is mounted to the body end of the electric linear actuator. Naphtha. Light or medium oils. A cut covering the end of the motor spirit and the beginning of the kerosene range. Naphtha distills between 30 degrees centigrade and 210 degrees centigrade. Natural gas. Gas obtained from boreless and wells that consists primarily of hydrocarbons, a gaseous hydrocarbon. Odorless and flammable. Found in its natural state of particular geologic formation as a product of decomposition of organic matter. Non-conventional energy source. Source of energy that includes non-petroleum-based fuels such as biomass and solar energy. Orifice. The opening through which gas is admitted to the burner. Peak brake power. Highest power developed. Petroleum. Any mineral, oil, hydrocarbon gas, bitumen, asphalt, mineral gas, and all other similar or naturally associated substances with the exception of coal. Peat. Bituminous shale and or other stratified mineral fuel deposits. Photovoltaic. Producing voltage from light energy. Potholes. The holes on the top of a stove where pots are placed. Power. Is the rate converting energy. It is the product of voltage in amperes and is measured in watts. Powered unit. A machine having an electric motor or internal combustion engine as one of its components. For the purpose of providing power to the machine and, when required, to attachments for such machine. Power generation. Conversion of primary sources of energy into electric energy, generation amounts of electricity derived from thermal, hydro, nuclear, and geothermal plants. Power takeoff PTO. A power outlet such as a shaft, tube, pulley, etc., to provide rotational power to an implement or attachment. Power unit. Motor or engine used to drive a machine such as a pump. Prime mover. Are sources of power such as steam turbines, hydraulic turbines, internal combustion engines, and steam engines. Pull-up torque. Is the lowest value of torque produced by the motor between 0 and full load speed. Renewable energy. Energy obtained from the continuing or repetitive currents of energy occurring in a natural environment. Renewable source of energy. The energy obtained from biomass. Solar radiation. Temperature differences that produce currents in deep oceans are those that are found in rocks beneath the Earth's surface. Air pressure differences that produce winds. And natural or man-made differences in water levels. Rice hull. Outermost rough covering of the paddy consisting of the empty glooms, floral glooms, and on. Rotor. Is the rotating part of an electric motor. It is a cylinder made up of thin sections of a special soft steel with slots cut in the surface. Say horsepower, rated horsepower. Formula to determine power, bore diameter squared times number of cylinders over 2.5 equals HP. Service factor. Indicates the maximum load that can be successfully carried by the motor if it is to operate continuously and remain within a safe temperature range. Service temperature. Temperature at which the plastic can withstand without incurring a change in its physical properties. Size prime mover. Rated power rating of the prime mover is specified by the manufacturer. Solar energy. Solar radiation convertible to useful energy, that is thermal or electricity energy. Spark ignition engine. Engine in which combustion occurs through the initiation of a spark on the fuel and air mixture. Standby power. The power to be delivered by a generator during periods when there is an outage of utility or prime power sources or when these sources provide power outside the acceptable limits of quality or capacity. Starting torque, locked rotor torque. Motor torque at 0 speed or the maximum torque required to start the load. Steam power plant. Thermal power plant which burns fuel to heat water and generate steam, which in turn runs the turbine coupled to an engine generator. Thermal power plant. A plant which burns fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, natural gas to generate electricity. Transition grate. A permeable element that provides transition from the concave grate extension to the next separating device. Transition grate area. Product of the transition grate width and length. Transition grate length. The contour length of the upper surface of the transition grate. Vented heater. Fuel burning unit heater exhausting combustion products outdoors via a chimney. Building air is heated by a heat exchanger around the firebox. Volatile material. Material that vaporizes readily at ambient air temperatures. Volatile matter. This includes absorbed gases and tarry materials, some of which escape as smoke when charcoal is burnt and some are deposited as soaked on surfaces in contact with the smoke. This is the less in weight that occurs when charcoal is heated out of contact with air. Volatile suspended solids. That portion of the suspended solids driven off as volatile combustible gases at a specified temperature and time. Walk-in freezer. A freezer chamber large enough to walk into. Water horsepower. It is the power theoretically required to lift a given quantity of water each second to specified height. Hope it helps. Thank you again for listening. Please like, subscribe and comment your suggestion on topics you want to hear. Links of previous topics are stated in the description box below. See you in the next part. Bye. Rar.